Thanks once again to Brianna for saving my life. I'll back up. So I'm setting out to do the Grafton Loop Trail. It's 35 miles, 20,000 feet of elevation change, poorly marked trails, very remote, lots of blown down trees that make navigation difficult, very few water sources, and on this particular weekend, 90-degree heat and sunny. This is normally recommended as a 3 to 5 day hike, and my goal going into it is to do it in 18 hours. So I think let's start at 3:30 in the morning. I'll finish by 10 p.m. No big whoop. So I start out, and by 1 p.m. I'm feeling strong. I'm 9 hours in, and I'm actually slightly ahead of schedule, averaging 2 miles an hour. Really happy with it at this point. But 1 p.m., this is where I start to get into trouble. The sun is at its peak in the sky. I'm above the tree line now on Puzzle Mountain, and the sun is just killing me. So I start to think, I actually need to go faster to minimize my time in the sun. And as I'm rushing, a few things happen. I get really hot. I get a little bit lost. And I lose my headlamp and my bear spray. As I'm taking my phone out of my pocket to navigate, I just lost my headlamp and my bear spray. I don't know exactly when, but it was some point in this rush. I didn't really realize it until later. But I keep pushing, and I'm pushing till about 4 p.m. And between 4 and 7 p.m., the wheels start to fall off. At this point, I'm getting nauseous. I'm unable to eat anything. And I'm actually dry heaving while I'm hiking. Very low energy. Before I was feeling strong, and now I start to feel weak and tired. And so at 7 p.m. I make the concession. This isn't going to be a one-day hike anymore. I need to spend the night on the mountain. I did bring a tarp and a sleeping bag just in case this happened. So I set my tarp up in an A-frame. I try to drink some water, but as soon as I drink the water, I just throw up everywhere and completely empty my stomach, and then carry on to dry heave pretty intensely. But I felt a little better after I threw up, and so then I go to bed, slept like a baby for 9 hours. I slept really well. I wake up and I'm feeling rested and strong. My body feels good. I'm not sore. I don't have any physical injuries, but I haven't eaten in 14 hours. And I'm like, I gotta eat something. So I get down a gel and 2 crackers for breakfast, and that's it. And so for a little bit after eating, I felt better. But around 10 a.m., it starts getting hot again, and this is where the shit hit the fan. I mean, it's the not eating, the not drinking, combined with the 90-degree heat. And now I'm walking 10 paces, 10 really slow paces, and then resting, taking my trekking poles and just bending over and resting. Walk 10 paces, rest. Sometimes I'm laying down to rest. And all I can do is breathe. I can't eat, I can't drink. I feel horrible. But breathing was like eating to me at this point. The air felt so dense, and it was my only form of nutrients. So I'm just focused on that. I'm just focused on breathing, taking the air in, letting it help me. And then the situation kind of escalates. I actually start collapsing. So these moments, they hit me where I just lose all the power in my body and fall down and collapse onto the rock. And I'm vomiting on myself, and I'm laying in the fetal position, watching this puddle of vomit grow as I'm throwing up there. And I'm laying there, and I'm like, okay, well I'm down, I gotta rest for a little bit. But a few seconds go by, and I start to think, I can get up. So I get up, I keep hiking, probably made it 20 more paces, collapse again, throw up on myself in the fetal position again. And I'm able to get up, but at this point I'm thinking, this has gotten interesting. I've never pushed my body this far. I've never seen it react this way, so I don't know what happens next. I remember thinking, I hope I don't run into someone on the trail because I don't think I can pass the straight face test. They might see me and call in a rescue, and I don't want to get rescued. I want to finish what I started. So as bad as it's getting and as bad as it got, I was still thinking, I'm not going to die on the mountain and I'm going to finish this thing. But I don't want to push myself so hard that I do lose consciousness or die. So it's a balancing act. And I gave myself until noon to really reach out for help. So it hit noon. Still feel horrible. Can't walk more than 10 paces. Still unsure what's happening to my body or what will happen. And so I text Brianna and I'm like, I don't want to bother you, but I think I might need help. So she calls me up and she's like, let's just spend a few minutes talking over your situation and assessing. So I tell her what's going on, like the weakness, the vomiting, the collapsing, I can't eat or drink anything. And as I hear myself saying it, I'm like, oh, this is actually a pretty bad situation to be in. And she's like, yeah, I'm hearing some red flags. I'm actually going to come right now and help you. And I feel relief at this point. I'm like, okay, great. This is going to be great. She's going to help me. So 2.5 hours later, she actually finds me on the trail, which is amazing in and of itself. That within 2.5 hours, she's able to drop what she's doing, come drive to Grafton Notch, find the trail that I'm on, find me, and our friend Matt had actually left a San Pellegrino drink in our cooler. It's like a seltzer with some sugar in it. And Brianna brought this to me. And this drink saved my life. As soon as I started sipping it, I immediately felt strength come back into my body. It felt like I could walk again. And just to finish this hike in the physical presence of Brianna's love and support, it made all the difference in the world. It was a total game changer to have her show up as she did. Because I think I was close to the situation getting a whole lot worse, and it was a little scary for a bit there. But at the end of the day, I did it. I hiked the 35-mile Grafton Loop Trail in 35 hours. But the headline here really has to go to Brianna for once again saving my life. Thank you, Brianna.